Okay, Octavia, this is these problems that you are having an issue with. Let me see if I can make this a little bit larger. First of all, you mentioned that there were no problems on the homework dealing with quartiles. Well, number 13, there was. Off of section 3.2 and 3.3, it was asking you for quartile 3. All you do is you put the values, these, whatever ones, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think it says 10 values, 2, 4, 6, it's 8. Put those 8 numbers in list 1. You go to stat, one variable. You go to, what do you go to? You go to stat, and then you go to calculate. There it is. Stat, calculate, and you tell the computer, tell the calculator, excuse me, that your values are in list 1. There is no frequency because all you have is one list. And you hit calculate, you scroll down, and it'll tell you what quartile 3 was. It'll tell you what the minimum value was. It'll tell you what quartile 1 was, and quartile 2, the median. The median, it tells you what quartile 3 is. It tells you the largest. Simple enough. So there was a problem dealing with quartile 3. Quartile 1 is the same thing. Put the numbers in, scroll down, and you're looking for quartile 1. In this case, you're looking for quartile 3. Same idea. Number 2, you got 40 students. Find a value that's the percentile 56. All right, so 56 over 100 is 0.56. You multiply times the numbers you have, you get 40 numbers. It comes out to be 22.4. The flow chart says whatever the decimal is, you always round up. You round 22.4 up to 23. The location of the 23rd number, the number in the 23rd location is the number 74. 22.4, the flowchart says to round up to the location. You round up to 23. The number in the 23rd spot is the number 74. There it is, letter B. Find quartile 1. All I did was to put these numbers into a list 1. All right, I went to stat, calculate one variable stat. I told the calculator my values were in list 1, and I scrolled down, and it told me what my minimum value was, and there it is. It tells me what quartile 1 is. Easy enough. Just put the numbers. There are other ways of doing it. Yeah, the fastest, easiest way is to put the numbers into a list. You go to stat, calculate one variable stat. Your numbers are in list 1, and it tells you what quartile 1 is, 6.4, letter D. Put the numbers into a list. Calculate one variable stat. Oh, this frequency distribution for maybe the 8th time. I don't know. You got to find the midpoints. Whenever you have a distribution list, you're going to have 2 lists. You're going to have values. You're going to put in L1 the midpoints, and the values in L2 the frequencies. So I put these numbers, the midpoints of all these different classes, 54.5, 64.5, 74.5, 84.5, 94.5. I put them into, let me get this out of the way here. I put these into a list. I put the frequencies in L2. I tell the calculator my midpoints are in L1, my frequencies are in L2. If I scroll up a little bit, and I'm looking for, the problem says, hey, what's the mean? The mean is X bar. X bar is the mean. All right, 72.3. Calculate tells you everything. Variance. There is no key that gives you variance. What you do, you find the standard deviation, and then you take your answer and you square it. So I put these 6 numbers. Actually, there's only 5 numbers. I put them in list 1. All right. I go to stat, calculate one variable stat. I tell it calculate my values are in list 1. I hit calculate, and then it tells me right at the very top, it says S of X. S of X is the standard deviation. You're looking for the variance. On the PowerPoint, it says take the variance and square it. If you square 8 squared is 64, letter B. The variance is the standard deviation squared. This is when I'm looking for the standard deviation. Easy enough. You got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I put them in a list. I go to stat, calculate one variable stat. I tell the calculator my values are in list 1, which they are. I hit calculate, and simple enough, there's my standard deviation, 3.9. Letter A, 3.9. All right, for the box plot, the box plot. All right, so there are what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 50. There's 20 numbers. I put them all in the list. I put them in list one. I go to stat, one variable, calculate one variable stat. I tell my calculator my values are in list one, which they are list one. I hit calculate. I scroll down. All right, till I find the minimum number. Well, I knew it. That was zero point 0.4. The maximum number, that was 7. All right, so all of them have the right minimum and the right maximum. You're looking for quartile 1, 2.1. There it is, 2.1. Median, 3.45. There it is. There's only one that had a median of 3.45, corrected two places. Quartile 3, 3.8. There it is. And you knew the biggest number. You knew the biggest number was 7. Letter C. That was 24, and that's the one that you were thinking about doing on your own. So they're the answers to all your questions. And then getting back to what you said, no, there was an example in the homework 3233. It wasn't quartile 1, but it was quartile 3. Well, guess what? The calculator gives you quartile 1, gives you quartile 3. It gives you everything you need. There's quartile 1, quartile 3. If you wanted a quartile 2, there it would be. So I hope that helps.